top score.
Alright, so the first thing, the turning point. Give us the tools and we'll finish the job. So if you've lost 4 games in a row, which we never even came close to, we never lost more than once in a row, which isn't even a streak.
Yeah.
So what happens if you're really, really bad? Each game during step 1 of setup, you may cross out a stockpile bonus below
There's probably extra.
to add up to 10 supply cubes from the reserve to the stockpile. Destroy this card after all stockpile bonuses have been
Used.
crossed out. And you've got, looks like three bonuses.
Yeah.
So hopefully if you've been losing that much, you don't keep on losing.
Yeah. It's a good little counterbalance.
Yeah, I mean, just like, I think
For people that suck.
season 1's was getting to destroy epidemics.
Do you want to read the perimeter report? I don't know.
No, that's, I mean, we can, but that's just set up for this game. It's probably, you've completed the plan, but you've got to take scars. Alright, so I'm in a scratching mood.
You're in a what?
I'm in a scratch off mood. Oh, fine. So if we had completed the plan, the Hollowmen turned on Utopia, rising up to aid our cause. Huzzah. Open package 8 and follow the instructions. Destroy the riot control. Unrationed event card inside. So it was literally just you get the same benefit. It's just that you've lost, which severely hurts your score, as we saw. Okay, so, well, we know where Willow died. I want to know about Jaime.
Hi, man.
That's my first thing. So his first exposure, clean, then a scar, clean, death.
6.
Death at 6, and obviously clean at 7. That would be funny, scar at 7.
Yeah.
Mags.
Where did Mags die? Number 1.
Scar.
Oh.
2, then scar. So scar, death at 6.
Interesting. Jodet?
Jodet! Scar, blank, scar, blank, death.
At 5.
Death at 5. Nemo!
Nemo. Forgot about Nemo.
Blank, scar, blank, death.
6.
Earl! Good old Earl. The farmer.
Maple.
Scar, blank,
Last.
death.
Oh, it's gonna be Costner. Had the first hit.
Hector!
Oh, I forgot about Hector.
The laborer. The building a supply center, do it with 1 for your card. If you spend 2 supply cubes.
Did we use him once?
Prologue. 1
Yeah.
trial in the prologue. Blank, scar, death. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Scar. Blank, scar, death.
At 5. A lot of them have been 5.
5. Okay.
It's gotta be
That
Costner.
leaves our two regulars. Wait, you played Costner. You get to discover.
Oh.
It doesn't matter anymore. You get to.
I'm gonna start at the back end.
Okay.
7 was clear. Well, he died at 5. So he had a
Blank.
scar at 2, scar at 3, blank at 4.
So everybody's got 2 scars, and you can't. It looks like you can't die any earlier than 5.
Maybe good old HW. Dead.
Scar at 3, death at 4.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
That's the worst card out of all of them.
So he had 1 scar at 2, and then death at 4. Wow. Whew.
Interesting.
Glad he never took scars. All right. Well, that's character death. I wanted to do that. That's kind of fun. We had a couple of searches we didn't get around to. Los Angeles. We're gonna save Utopia for the end. On to Navario. Get these epidemics out of the way. You know, we didn't get any produced supplies in that game.
For once.
You know, they rained where they poured, where there was a drought. That was okay.
Really? What about... I thought Osaka had one.
We haven't connected to Osaka. We're going to go through those too. And then we're going to get a dustbuster and get all of this silver. Alright, on to Navario. Had we searched the land, nope, we would have found a companion. The... containment specialist?
Huh.
I
Interesting.
found Maggie.
Maggie.
I found where she went after she returned. It's even female.
Uh,
I found her. Play this card at any time to remove all plague cubes from one location on the grid. That would have been very useful. Would have kept our population good. Yeah. So, search onto Navario land.
yeah. Maybe would have upped our score.
A fair bit. And the sea. We have found a lost haven. We have not
Silphco.
accessed it yet. 45, 65.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Los Angeles. Sea first?
Yeah.
We have
Thought
learned
that was gonna be.
the location of the Lost Haven. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in action. Alright, land. Found old shopping containers. They contained old but effective supplies. Take 4 supply cubes from the reserve and add them to the stockpile. That's useful. Alright. We still got packages we haven't opened.
Utopia!
No. Mexico City.
And what about there's
Osaka?
Santiago and Osaka.
Yeah. Mexico City. Yeah. Osaka. And
Success cards I needed. Sweep down.
oh. Alright, Santiago.
What is it? What is it?
This town is haunted by despair. A surge of refugees overwhelms the city's resources. The locals have not done well. Plague is rampant. Must not stay. Open 50 if you have not already done so.
50's already open.
Huh. What was 50? Ah, infested.
Ah.
Mark Santiago as infested. That was brilliant that we didn't go there. Haha! Okay, so we did one thing right here. Osaka.
Why not yellow? Osaka came with us.
Oh, fine. Mexico City.
Companion!
Scout.
Ooh.
As an action, you can discard a city card, including this card, to draw a city card of the same color from the player discard pile, if you have this card in your hand. That would be useful.
That's equivalent to,
A couple of those powers.
Yeah.
I think it was no.
Costner's.
No, his was any.
Oh,
It was HW.
It might have been HW's. Alright. Osaka. The companion, the local resistance. Apparently you want to search Japan.
Yeah.
Because Tokyo was fantastic.
The Tokyo was the
Counts as two unique cards.
the spies.
Yeah. Play this card at any time to remove one Hollow Men figure. From anywhere.
It's because the Yakuza.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Yeah.
They have the spies and the.
So that's pretty good. We made the right call going to Tokyo rather than Osaka, but that's still. Those are some interesting cards. So what haven't we opened?
Utopia.
We have not scratched Utopia, and that's.
Begging question.
Oh, there's a companion.
Oh, really?
A traitorous companion.
An informant.
Oh, nice.
Somehow I feel like this would have been okay.
You do not have to discard a city card when moving through as infected.
Play this card at any time to remove up to 4 Utopia infection cards from the infection discard pile
Actually, didn't hurt us too bad.
to the game end area. Well, no, because we had the scientist.
Not only that, but it kind of felt like with how many cubes we had in Utopia.
Yeah,
We actually didn't have to worry about
we
it.
wanted them.
Yeah.
Right. Alright. Open some envelopes.
Let's see, there's a 54,
54.
21, 26.
Haven Leadership Summit 70. Let's go.
What? Immediately put the sticker over Frankfurt and destroy the Frankfurt player and infection cards. This city is no longer exists on the map and cannot become part of the grid. Players may not move to it or draw supply lines to it or through the destroyed area. There's a reason why Frankfurt is
Haven
a hub.
Leadership Summit 4.
All together, Haven Leadership Summit 14.
Haven Leadership Summit 45.
So they're all the things that you're not supposed to.
So there was nothing that said this pull 21.
No, not that I ever saw.
So I wonder if now we have to do this.
Well, the game's over.
No, if you plan on playing it again.
No.
What is 21?
As far as I know, nothing ever told us to open 21. Although I wonder if we didn't search Europe in time, it might have.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool though. Or if it's for people who go, I wonder what's in here. Because remember how there was that one, like in February, there was scratch box 1 and then there was a second box. It's like, we didn't tell you to scratch this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Germany.
There's a reason why Frankfurt's like that.
Yeah, it's a good hub.
It's a good hub, and there's a reason why it does that.
Hey, wait. These are stickers.
Yeah,
For what?
to have,
Yeah, it's probably just.
not to put on the board, but to have. So you were right all along. Nothing ever filled in the gaps. They were all there to block our paths, which is good, I think.
I mean, it can give kind of some theming as far as like
The Sahara Desert.
it's an old map that was found, or
Yeah.
that we're creating on ourselves.
Well, and you only have so many ways to get around.
Yeah.
You have to follow the networks you have in place.
Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna look through the deck one more time, make sure we're not missing anything. But overall thoughts.
I like it.
I found it I found it challenging at the beginning. I don't feel that the end was overly difficult, but we also spent our time.
Because you know how long that would have taken to. I mean, we would have had to get 4 more. I mean, I don't know. I had 2 blue. You had 1 blue.
I had a couple of blues hanging around.
So I guess we could have, but
If what?
If
If
we
we
had
had-
had the center in Johannesburg.
the permanent center.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It may have taken maybe 1 or 2 more rounds.
But I think you guys would have been working on it.
Yeah, I think we got lucky on a lot of card draws this game. A lot of epidemic placements in the deck.
Yeah.
I don't think early on we did.
No.
Like in those ones that we lost, I think we lost because of bad epidemic draws.
Well,
I mean,
we lost a game because we had
Back
the
to
win
back.
on the next turn.
Yeah,
Like the win was sitting in my hand,
Yeah.
and Kyle drew like the only 2 cities that killed us,
yeah.
and that's dumb luck, right? That's just gonna happen.
How many incidents did we have after all? Was it 4?
It was no, I think it was 3.
It was 3 or 4.
It was just Moscow, Osaka, and Seoul, or not Osaka, Seoul, and Tokyo, the 2 Asia cities there.
I think they had to put those blue ones in there to force you to not be able to be. That's just weird that you can't get down.
Yeah, but
It does kind of force you to draw the lines in the way that the base pandemic lines are set. For the most part, I mean, you still have freedom in what you draw to, and
right, I
like
mean,
we got cut off.
We could have gone Baghdad, New Mumbai.
Yeah,
We didn't.
Yeah,
We had a lot of options that we didn't take.
and there were ones that we took that cut us off from taking other ones in the future, like what was it? There was a straight line that we couldn't because we had to cut. Oh yeah, if we would have done this, that would have blocked off Buenos to Lima.
Yeah.
I can also, though, see how quickly you could get in trouble here
Yeah.
on this last game
The
if
new
you
Mumbai,
hadn't
the
been
Kolkata, and the
if you
Delhi.
hadn't protected that.
Yes. Well, and more so because we had all the lines drawn to make that easy route down there. We had no idea we needed.
So what do you think Dice Tower didn't prepare themselves for?
I don't think they had a route. I really don't.
And I don't think they had the permanent down there in Johannesburg.
Oh, I don't think there's any way that they had a permanent. We got lucky with that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
We are lucky with in that game, not drawing those Utopia cards as much as we thought we would have.
Or Hollow Men.
Yeah.
We didn't have that many Hollow Men.
I don't think we ever had where we had 3 Hollow Men and add a 4th.
We got
We
lucky
never did.
not taking exposure throughout.
Right.
Yeah.
We took one legitimate exposure.
Yeah.
And even that was an accident because the shelter was covering up a.
Yeah.
We avoided exposure like the plague, pardon the pun, but because we knew it was lethal.
I think our
Potentially.
base-
Well, like
this-
Kolkata was the place you had to search at. So we had put that perm shelter just in anticipation, like
needing to go east.
Yeah, as far as having the recon coming up.
Yeah, a lot of our decisions we
But-
made because of
Recons. That's why
recons.
Lagos had a center. That's why Cairo had a center.
Mhm.
It's why not Washington never got a center. That's where we recon, but we built there enough early
Like,
on.
I'm sure, like, if Buenos hadn't fallen, like, we probably would have had a center down here at some point.
But you know what? It turned out brilliantly that we didn't.
Yeah, Cosmic I think is good enough.
Like, no, but I mean, just from the fact of, because we ended up putting them where we had, like, we put one in Atlanta because, well, the CDC.
Yeah,
Well,
but
because it was a
lab.
potential hub.
and it
Lab.
turned out and Atlanta would have hubbed more
If we would've
if
lost
Denver
those.
hadn't fallen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think our player powers were very, very well chosen as far as who we put what on.
Yeah.
HW, we were worried that he was going to be the OP for the entire game, but
And
he somewhat was.
he was, but I don't think. Okay, I never felt like I was playing the best character in the game and the only good character in the game when I was playing Bush.
Mm-mm.
Like for a while there, when we had Bush and Jaime, they were a really good duo.
Yeah,
A really good duo. They did a lot of work early on.
they helped us get cards quick.
And Costner just kind of hung off out in the background
Costner
for a
was
while.
our support guy
And
because
just got it done. And
it's what I tell people when they're playing original Pandemic. Your goal is to research those 4 cures as quickly as you can. But along the way, you have to build centers and keep cubes off of the grid. Because you have to pull the cubes off, the infections off of the board. And if you don't do that, you're in trouble. But if you spend your entire game pulling cubes off, you're not going to win. So everybody's like, okay, well, we got to get cubes off of here. Or in our case, we got to get cubes on here, get cubes on here, get cubes on here. And it's like, great, we can do that. But how are we getting cards to each other to build centers?
yeah.
Right. How are we doing that? How are we building towers? And what we really maximized outside of shelters was making things permanent, really putting the board in place to help us. And utilizing the things we had. We didn't waste a lot of stuff.
Mm-mm.
We didn't sit around and go,
No, we built our permanent satellite towers in the same places where we had permanent supply centers.
yep,
Not only that, but places that we had inoculated, so we didn't have to fear. Oh yeah, we have a center here.
yeah. Lagos was well stocked. Cairo we dealt with, and then we got rid of it all at the end. But for a while, we just kept Cairo around because why not? It's at 8. We'll put cubes there. We'll deal with it. We never did get a red center, but we had enough movement through
And we were
red.
close enough to.
Look at the movement we had in red. I know, camera, you're not seeing that, but you've seen
Yeah.
the movement we have in red.
Hong Kong.
I've been curious about this. Hong Kong has a route to Seoul, Shanghai,
Tokyo.
Alien Island, Manila, Tokyo, Jakarta, Ho Chi Minh, Bangkok, and Kolkata. 9 cities, 9 locations. You tell me any other location that goes to 9 spots.
In base pandemic, I think Riyadh is or
No,
Riyadh
Istanbul
is
goes
the
to
closest.
7.
Yeah, this is the closest.
I believe it's 7.
Um,
But no, okay, one of these centers can go to a fair number. Like Cairo's got
Not necessarily.
Cairo's got 1,
Waterworld.
2, 3, 4, and then every other permanent center. So 5, 6,
Oh, you're talking about
7,
currently, yeah,
8,
you're talking
9, 10.
No, but what
11.
I'm saying is the routes from Waterworld are the only routes you're going to get anywhere else. You can't expand from Waterworld because it's already connected to all the ports. It would
And
be blocked. It wouldn't be able to go down here because
It's not
it's blocked.
connected to New York.
You could go to
Yeah.
New York.
That's one, yeah.
You could bring it up to New York, and that actually wouldn't be terrible. If you had a game that you really needed to get into New York a fair bit, Waterworld New York wouldn't be terrible. But at that
it's
point,
the same thing.
I'd rather go to
Maple
Maple
Lake,
Lake.
Especially once you have the shuttle flights.
Yeah. Boy, it's tough to picture a time when we didn't have that. But we didn't for a while, not until we explored Europe.
I mean, it's a shame that you have all these characters that you don't get to use, but another team
Would have made use of
May
somebody else,
may
I'm
have
sure.
made use of someone else, may have used different combos.
Well, I'm sure
Other teams may have taken exposure to the point where people died and they
Yeah.
had to.
Because I'm sure Costner, the radio operator, was probably not a lot of people's first choice. But Kyle, you took a shine to him because he does look cool. We put good artwork on him.
Yeah.
The guy with the specs but one eye showing. We put some good artwork on him, and he worked. He really did work, and.
Look how late Shuttle Flight was. At least 5 actions into,
Yeah.
and that's if. But I'm pretty sure the build satellite tower came before it.
No, we got satellites when we went down to Africa.
I love how
Shuttles were Europe,
our
Africa.
2 campaigns have actually worked out, though.
Yeah.
With the end of our first campaign being in the heavily affected zone is red.
Yeah.
I just love how that worked for us.
Yeah.
Other players I've seen had it up in blue, up in here and stuff, and I don't know if would that make you feel any differently thematically.
If what?
Based on
I feel
having
like-
season 1 of Pandemic having your big infection in blue, and then this year having it in red.
Well, that would kind of make sense. Just like they saved themselves in red to avoid the big infection in.
See, to me, this almost makes sense that it was a black infection because of all the infected cities.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm thinking about it in the sense of because we are the ones that
We're faded.
The disease.
are faded.
We're the.
So we should have been. I guess thematically, it would have made more sense if we started the game over here
Yes.
and worked out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. I guess.
but you can't control all of those
No.
things. I think it did a really good job. I will say this: I am not eager to play it right now
No.
again.
I think it'll be nice to also go back a year from now and watch the videos.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it.
And then you have
sooner than then.
you could have had your huge infection over here where all the infested cities are.
Story.
And then-
You've played the first season.
Yeah.
Story in this game compared to the first game. Different, more
Different?
involved, less involved,
I think it was a little more cohesive.
better, worse.
I feel like it wasn't as forced, but I kept waiting for the twist, and it never came.
Yeah,
There was no.
Mags. Moment.
Yeah, there was no tension. Okay.
Well, there was tension because we thought it was gonna come. but-
Exactly, but there was nothing. There was nothing.
They were
in
like,
this
"Oh, you
game.
thought."
Yeah, there's nothing this game did that made. There wasn't a betrayal moment. There wasn't. There wasn't a crestfallen moment. There wasn't.
And they could have done that with the character going to the Hollow Men and becoming.
Yeah, but I almost feel like that was too obvious
Yeah, that's true.
and too late.
See, and that's why I said I thought what was going to happen is the search up there in Utopia
Yeah.
was going to be the twist of, oh, we searched, they caught us searching and found out that character was faded and shot him and killed him. Kind of like the whole Mags thing where she betrayed and went to the army.
I guess the other thing is the whole thing with Willow became the carrier, basically sacrificed herself. It doesn't hurt being in December. I guess it would have hurt if we had lost,
Yeah,
but it didn't hurt.
that's true. It didn't make or break the game. I felt like Maggie dying when she did was. I mean, it was
That hurt.
It did hurt. Yeah.
It
It didn't make or break the game, but it definitely hurt us.
I would have liked this to be November.
And some
Lose a character in November, like force the loss of a character in
Yeah.
November, and then have something in December.
like December, maybe spread the cure.
The
down.
cure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that could be season 3 now.
it could be. It could be. And I'm not trying to design a game.
You know what I was thinking of is these scorecards.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of work, but you buy a set of Pandemic Season 3. Set 1, Set 2, Set 3, Set 4. And Set 1 is based on if you had gotten the 851 and above score.
Yeah.
Set 2 is based on if you got the 701 and 850.
You know what I'd rather have? Like a series of envelopes or tear doors, whatever.
That like set up the board that
Set
way.
up something, some little thing, but it's different based on what you did, and then you can have like 10 or 9 doors. You didn't play season 2, and then you won, you lost, and in each of those
Yeah.
scores.
The reason why I say that is like the text on here. I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter, but the text on here is actually like
Different.
the 851. Our work brought the world back from disaster. Cities are growing. People have hope. Our leaders lost faith, but we never did. The 21st century will be remembered as a time of darkness, but there is now light ahead. The hollow men have been freed. We, the fated, are finally free from exile in the havens. That's one up from what we got. But this whole, the 401 to 550, we didn't want to be back on the front line so soon, but the world is a disaster. There is rioting, anarchy, near collapse. Without utopia in the east, these cities have risen up. We have a cure, but we're not sure the world will survive long enough for us to use it. Some cities will make it. We hope the world can rebuild us from here. So that's a huge change from like
Yeah.
801 to 401.
Yeah.
That has an effect over here, obviously, so you can
Yeah.
set that up as far as the game board. There's no utopia there now. The 551, despite our inexperience, we did the impossible. The world has paid the price of our leaders' fear. Utopia's malice and the hollow men's savagery, but we have a cure. We believe that the world will recover in time. There will be new cities and new countries. Who knows how long it will take to rebuild, but we will be part of it. I almost like that one more than the one that we got.
And they may go with that one.
Yeah, I almost like that one a little bit more than the one we got.
Well, I mean, both are probably true.
Yeah.
So,
The fails are somewhat
similar.
similar, just different.
You don't have the
to
cure.
represent the Elada. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm of this mind. We played 15 games. It could have been 14, easily,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. I feel like we got a really good experience out of 15
Oh, I did.
games of this.
I'll definitely. Would you play it again with a different group?
With a
Base.
different group, yeah.
Yeah,
Base.
not anytime soon.
Yeah, no offense to you guys.
Yeah.
It's nothing against you guys. It's
Yeah.
because we don't sit here and we know exactly what's coming.
Yeah.
Like, and we game everything. It's okay. Got to get a center built in Johannesburg.
You know, though, I don't know that we would play it any differently than the way we played it this time. And I don't know that we would do any better just because of that.
I don't know that we. You're right. I don't know that we would do any better.
Yeah, we
I
may
mean,
do
we
worse
might
just
think
because
a
of our
little
loss.
bit more about protecting cities.
Population. That's the only thing is
But in doing that,
Is it
you
gonna
might
hurt
hurt the whole character development process.
character development, placement of permanence, all that stuff.
But I mean, there were some.
I think people that lose this game focus too much on keeping everything alive.
I do too.
Definitely.
Because how many times did we say we're okay with letting it burn, or it's a chance we have to take?
And I actually, when you
Especially
said that
once
stuff-
we had a perm supply center and satellite in blue, yellow, black,
Yeah.
It just became.
And a center close enough to red where it didn't matter. I think that. What's it? I think.
And
yeah,
the only reason we never built a center in red was because
it
that
happens
build
late,
up
too.
That build up to it was you were needing every single red card
Yeah.
to do something.
To develop the plan, to recon
Stuff
to move,
yeah.
for the very simple task of move.
I agree with you though. I think I would have liked it. I loved it. I think I would have liked it. Having been November.
Yeah. Well, see, my
But who
thing
knows what
was
season 3 has.
I don't know. I don't know. For as far as season 1, I didn't play with you guys, but
You can watch it on YouTube. It's there.
um,
For those late.
I kept expecting it to get insanely difficult, and for me, this one never had a wow, this just got super hard. It felt hard, like the difficulty felt like it was there, but I honestly, for me, once it got
How many times did I say, how the heck are we going to survive with 4? We were just scraping by with 15 or whatever. How many times did I say that after we played?
But like this, it felt dramatically easier. Like
I think that
And
I don't
you
know
can
that
say-
it felt
you-
easier.
no,
I think it felt
I think-
easier just because of abilities that we got. I feel like it felt the same difficulty. I don't think it ramped up really.
Yeah, I feel like the early.
There were different challenges.
But that's why I was saying, I don't know if maybe more people, if they got a lot of complaints about a difficulty in the first one, that would have caused them to dial it back.
the first one, a lot of the first one stuff happened late game.
Yeah.
This
Late
felt like a.
August, September,
Yeah.
October.
This felt more like you were experiencing a story. So I guess my answer to the question I asked you earlier about story comparison, I feel like the story was an entire story as opposed to like this build up, and then now you have 4 months where you have this completely different game that you're playing because of the faded and all that. I forget.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like this felt like a journey
Yes.
where there wasn't necessarily anything that had to be difficult. No, I will say December could have been a whole lot tougher if we didn't draw the Jakarta card.
Yeah.
That made life so simple. Because you drop a center into a shelter into Utopia, and now you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
With a game like this where it depends a lot on card draws, it's hard to change difficulty
Yes.
and not affect the game in a drastic way.
Yes. So I will say, like, the game, I feel like I think it was May, where we decided to use that unrationed event to ignore an epidemic.
Something like that, yeah.
Right?
I think it was May. It was either May or July, one of the two that
Yeah.
our birthday months.
Yeah. If we don't do that, we don't win that month. There's no way we win the first time through that month. But because we made that play, we were able to really bash through that month. And it was lucky that we had that card in play.
I think that was a quick month too, wasn't it? There was a few quick months
I
that
think
were
that was
under an
it.
hour
That
setup and
Yeah.
like end of game, not end of scoring. And all that.
That was another thing that we probably I feel like we protected a lot of cards way more than we had to. Like those produced supplies,
Yes. But in doing so, it gave us stacks of 8 and 9 rather than stacks of 7 and 8. So that gave us more time between every epidemic, which helps,
Yeah.
right? It means you're going 4 rounds or 4.5 turns per epidemic.
But you use those, you get city cards faster, so there's that counter.
It is.
So
But I mean, there was a lot of times where we were worried about searches and
those unrationed events that we only ended up burning 1 that game.
Right. There are, still in our deck, we have Probably far too many unrationed events. Well, here, I'll pull out all the produced supplies.
So I think we only burned one produced supply so far.
We might have burned 2.
I think we only burned the 1. But yeah. In our defense, we never got that shelter card in play.
Yeah.
That's even got 2 check boxes. That math tells me we've burned 4, but
Or
produced supplies, unless there's only 6. Oh, that's why. No. Okay, so we burned 1. We only destroyed 1 produced supply card,
and like 2 or 3 with unrationed events.
and there's still 3 unrationed events in here, which was the 2-point ability on a character. The one
Which we would have last game, I think,
yeah, and we probably should have, but it didn't matter.
because we wanted to win the game.
But we would have given Willow Saboteur, and we would have had 2 points for pop, and so it was a 2-point play. And
well,
then,
no, not a 2-point play. That 2-point for pop could have also revamped 1 more, which would have given us how much more? How much per?
5. So
Minus the.
So
because
it
there
would
was
have
a
been
minus for being Forsaken too.
So it would have been
-5 for
it's -5, so we would have lost 5. We would have then had 1 point, so it would have been a 6-point play. But I don't know that we would have saved something last time, because then we would have had to deal with those city cards this time, which would have meant putting those infections in, stocking those cities. Would have been different. Would have been a different game, and that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Hey, so interesting thing, in our 13 games...
13 or no?
13.
15? We played?
Oh, 15. 15, yeah. I went first 7 times, and Kyle went first 6 times. So,
yeah, I didn't go twice, I think.
yeah, you went first in February and August. Both times you played Costner.
What times we won? No, yeah.
Yeah.
That middle was a tough spread, man.
Yeah, we lost in March, April, and June. April was the month we lost
How
by
many
a
losses did I have as starting?
I lost a start, you lost a start, and I lost a start. I lost with Jaime twice. No, all three I was Jaime. Corey was Costner the first time we lost. And then Kyle was Costner the other 2 times.
So the first season we played this
With-
2 months.
Yeah, basically in 2 months.
This time we played it over the course of October to.
No, November. November 8th was our first game.
Oh yeah, October was because of the prologue. Oh no, never mind. October was our prologue.
And then March
10th.
7th. So it took us all of November, all of December, all of January, all of February. And 1 game.
I like that.
So 4,
Yeah.
basically
That's
4
what I was
months.
getting at is recommendations on how to play it. I mean, you can do however you want to, however you feel.
Of course. And outside of, we did the prologue in January the same day, and then we played February and the first game in March the same day, and that's when we realized we are not playing 2 games a day.
Yeah.
That
We
was
get
our
burned out.
that was our stopping point where we're like, no, we're brain dead.
But I mean, I'm still glad that we did do a few in the same day.
Yes,
Just 'cause
absolutely. Because
I think I was getting to the point where I wanted it to be, not necessarily wanted it to be over, but where I was
we were ready to hit a conclusion.
yeah.
Well, that's like tonight. We said if we lost that first
We were
December,
playing
we were
again.
playing again.
It
I'm
was.
glad we didn't.
Look,
Because now that the more we sit here and talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad we won.
we were reading a book.
I'm thinking of where we would be right now if we were
Yeah.
still playing again. If
Well, here, you were reading a book, and you got it to a point where you're like, you were going to stay up and finish reading it,
yeah.
regardless.
And to go back to your other
I will do
thing,
that with any book I start reading. That's my problem.
To go to
Books,
your
I have a
other,
really hard time putting down.
to go to your other comparison, we were at the point that you get when you're watching TV shows where you're just like, okay, it could be over. Like it can be done. I'm okay with it being done.
Yeah.
I'm like Walking Dead. I want to see a conclusion to that.
Sure.
I think
Like
there's some movies that or TV shows that go on too long. You're like, okay, I still love the show, but it'd be nice to be
some
done.
shows you're just ready for it to be over.
Yeah.
So.
You know, we never drew. Oh, because we didn't need to.
What?
Ho Chi Minh to Kolkata.
Yeah. There's no point.
Yeah.
Could have. Didn't need to.
That's funny. I liked it. I liked it more than season one. It's hard.
Yes,
Ask me that. I guess in a year after recency has been worn off.
I think that's the
but
other trick.
I still feel like it's got the familiar pandemic feel. It's intuitive,
But
as far
it's
as,
totally different.
But it is totally different.
And I like that. I like that it's a totally different idea.
I do agree with the statement that it feels like pandemic in reverse, but
Oh, yeah.
I also agree with the fact that it feels intuitive and it feels recent. It feels, I don't know how to say it. I mean, I was actually at the point where I wanted to just bake out. Last weekend, I went over to a friend's house who's not a very avid gamer. And I thought about bringing just Base Pandemic over and playing it because I was like, I want to see like how
How they handle it.
how they handle it and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with playing Base Pandemic still.
Yeah. I am too. I enjoy it. I want to play with On the Brink just for the different characters.
I don't know. I kind of hesitate to want to just because we beat with the 7 epidemics, perfect, all eradicated, all cured,
But
everything.
what are the odds of that? So
Insane. On camera. That was great.
yeah.
A couple, I guess, complaints. And it's hard with a game like this. Sticker quality wasn't too good, I felt like.
I mean, yeah, you can see some of our stickers are coming up.
Again, it's hard because of like folds and how much you're like sliding stuff over. And the adhesive is what I mean, not the quality, I guess, the adhesive on the backside of them. Trying to think if there's any other cons.
Do you really? I kind of feel like this, like it wouldn't be the same cities, I don't think, but you don't think most people would start perming supply centers and like having a perm supply center and satellite in each of the colors of the. You don't think that would?
Oh, I think they do. I think you have to.
I think it's meant to kind of lead you in that direction, but let you make your own choice on how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other complaints I really have.
So I do feel like
I hate the scratch off. I mean that's
but I don't know how else you do it. I guess you can do
They could have
doors.
just put their stickers on it. They could have used their stickers on the.
Well, okay, like the new.
How easy the stickers come off. These could have just had stickers on
like
them.
the new iTunes cards have a real good sticker to peel.
Oh yeah, okay.
I don't know if the technology's there yet to do it for something like this because that is a harder card.
Yeah.
But
Setup teardown can be kind of with any game like
but
this.
there's enough things that's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing. I like how the rule changes weren't too much. Because the first game, the prologue setup was really like, such a different game.
Right now I'm trying to nitpick because it's such a good game.
As far as what I think would have, where I really noticed the difficulty change was once there wasn't the requirement for 3 additional supply centers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, where you at the objective?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to nitpick right now just to kind of find cons because I know people like to hear both sides. But I mean, that's all this is nitpicking.
The infested.
What about it?
The having cities that were start infested, which I understand make it so you're having to think about getting through them. But at the same time, like there was no way to uninfest.
Oh yeah.
I would have liked some way to do it and have to do it.
Yeah.
Some mechanic to get rid of the infestation. We become exterminators.
Like even if they built it into the population count, like
I think the worst stickers
Where
were just
if
the
it went
infested
up-
ones. These were the worst ones.
Yeah, well, yeah.
when it went up to I don't know 3, you could remove the infestation, or maybe 2, like.
Oh, no, I like 3 because
3.
then it's truly recovering.
Yeah.
Right, it gets it out of it gets it
It
to
gets it into surviving.
the gray. Yeah, surviving. Once the city's surviving, it shouldn't be infested anymore.
Cubes are good quality.
Oh yeah,
Models are good quality.
the Hollow Men really do stand out.
They're light. They're not too heavy.
I would have liked the shelters
Be a
to
little
look
bit bigger.
different, not even bigger, to look different than the towers.
Oh, like a different color?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they look way too similar. The brown on brown.
I would say
I would like to not have to.
the
rip
shelters are
those.
fine brown. The satellite should have been a different color.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want the satellites gray because then they look like the cubes.
The black.
Yeah, I mean they could have been jet black or something.
I don't know if there's too much else to nitpick.
I would have liked better pawns.
Yeah, I mean better pawns.
It's just base. That's how base Pandemic.
translucent because we're faded.
That's good.
Yeah,
I think
that would
people
have been
picked
cool.
up on it.
Well, they said we were faded. I want to know where the one extra action is because
It's probably just to allow you freedom to where you place.
I don't want freedom. I want to be told where to do everything.
Um,
I'm not an independent thinker.
so I guess rate a scale.
What do you want? A grade?
1 to 10. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not ready for that.
Again, recency effect.
Yeah.
I think looking back at season 1, I would say still season 1 for me was 7 or 8. Probably a high 7, maybe low 8. I don't even know where Pandemic Base fell in my top 100. I don't even know where Pandemic Legacy fell in my top 100. But I think, and I say that now because this is the new one.
If I'm not mistaken, base they were both pretty close to each other in the 41 through 60.
I feel like Legacy was like 30 something.
Yeah.
But
No, because I haven't watched your
Top
21
40.
through 40.
dang it. Well, hey, at least you watched the other ones. That's good.
Okay. So I
I
This is a-
would give
8 or a 9 for me.
I would give this the probably the 8.
High 8, low 9 for me.
High 7 to 8.
Because I've started to figure out what games I like a lot more. I've noticed that story-driven games.
Yeah.
Not story like.
Actually, I'm gonna be a rebel. 7. I'm just gonna give it a solid 7.
Not story in the sense of like a RPG. Which
Not,
I've never
and I
played
don't
an
say a 7 because there was a lot wrong with it. I say 7 because I think there's more ways that it wasn't bad, but Like it wasn't like outstanding.
Well,
Like,
I'm
there's-
curious to see once you watch, because I'm sure you'll probably find time to watch it here and there. Season 1, I'm curious to see how you feel. Like knowing now, after you watch season 1, knowing why all this is important, why we may have played things the way we did. Curious to see kind of how you feel about that one.
I don't know. I just look at even had I played season 1 and this one, I would look at each of them as individual games though.
They are.
Like
They're connected by a story.
Yeah, I'd say a high 8, low 9 for me. Just because I think I wish that there would have been a little bit more story.
Yeah.
and that gets a high 8.
Like post story, like after the month, kind of post. If you wanted this, what you read, kind of the same kind of thing. If
I would have liked the objectives to be a little different throughout the beginning.
A little more variety there.
Yeah.
Even if they brought something back.
from previous objective, yeah.
Right, to have something like, you know.
But it was always, if you had the chance to recon, you were doing the recon.
Yeah.
And
if not,
then
you were connecting.
You were either connecting or searching, and then you had to build the supply centers.
Which I mean,
that's just base pandemic.
don't get me wrong, I like the mandatory objective.
No, but I feel like there could have been
We still have
other ways to twists.
So, while I have problems with this game, I still problems in the sense of lack of a climatic change. There's no like, okay, that was the moment the game pivoted.
See, that's what I think you guys building me up for this, waiting for this like punch in the face.
Yeah.
Kind of is where I dropped.
I never got punched in the mouth
because it was like oh man, I was ready for this.
My biggest
all
punch
hell
in
to
the-
break loose.
My biggest punch in the face was just seeing all the infested in red.
Sure. I still give it. I give it a really solid 8, maybe even a 9, and season 1's right there with it. I like this more than season 1.
Yeah.
What I think season 1 may have been a better game. I think this is a better story, and I would rather play this than season 1, because if I want the better game, I'll go play Pandemic any day.
I think season 1 was I think it's different for me. I think season 1 was better game and better story.
Than this.
Yeah. No, I mean season 2. Sorry. Season 2 was better game and better story. There was just different challenges. But yeah, I respect your 8 or 9. Same kind of where I'm at. High 8, maybe low 9.
I think,
And I think it'll sit there. I think if anything, it'll drop down to just solid 8 for me. I don't know that it'll go up.
I think this game has a better chance of standing the test of time than season 1 did, because I think season 1's already fallen down a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel that this maintains its potential to be replayed because of how many different directions you can go.
Mm-hmm.
It all still leads you in the same way. Some of that could be changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be changed with the location of this lab. If you don't know where that lab is, then the end game becomes variable.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like, and that could have easily been solved. That could have easily been like based on how they did the season 1, where your fated happens.
It could have.
If this happens in this city, the first city that this happens in is now your lab or whatever.
Yeah.
It's true, but I mean, I'm glad. I'm proud of him. I think he did a good job.
No, both of them. Right.
Yeah.
This is Matt Leacock
Yeah.
and Rob Davio.
Yeah.
It's not just one. That's a team effort, and all the playtesters that went into this. right? Can't.
Man, I would have hated to be a playtester. I would have hated it because I feel like as a playtester you wouldn't get the full. Like I wouldn't want. I feel like if I playtested this entire game, I wouldn't want to play it in its finished form.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to see the cards in like manufactured quality and all that stuff, but you pretty much know everything, right? You
Do you?
pretty much already played it.
Well, yeah, you probably have, but do you know that you've played it?
It's true. Could throw some curveballs in that they just tested themselves.
Yeah. I'd never give my playtesters December. I would never.
Yeah.
I'd never do that.
Yeah.
I'd make it so that the
Why would you give them any more than a prologue?
Well, because you need them to be able to test some of the changes.
Yeah.
To see the direction that.
Well,
people
that
tend to
okay.
go.
Well, there's another thing. The changes don't come really.
Right. Playtesters.
No, this game had changes I think throughout in comparison to season 1. A lot of them happened
For me,
here on.
it felt like
A lot of the big changes happened.
So as far as my 7, 10 would be. I can't think of any game right now that I would just be like, oh my gosh, 10. I'm gonna play that every single time I get the chance. It loses a lot on. Like I said, it felt redundant for a while. Or tedious, or monotonous, or any one of those words. It felt like that, and then waiting for that punch and not getting
What
it.
was redundant about it, though? Aside from... Because here's the thing. The reason why it felt like a continual thing was because it was set up in the sense that, like, there was so much to explore. Like, you're going to recon 1 month, the next month you're going to recon the next area, the next month you're going to recon the next area, the next month you're going to recon the next area, the next month you're going to... There was 6 months there that were just spent on recons, and that opens up a whole new story. So that's why I think... as far as changes go, you were playing still playing the same game.
It didn't really, though, because you were... It pretty... Like we noticed early, you were going to be reconning things in a specific order, and it was it was pretty well geared for the months that you would have it done by.
But I think that's all part of testing.
And then lack of replayability. Like
any game like that's going to have lack of replayability.
Yeah, and that's why like legacy games aren't like they're fun for a playthrough or whatever, but you're not gonna do multiple playthroughs over and over and over again.
However,
like I wouldn't do another playthrough with this.
However, most legacy
games.
games, how much was this?
60.
60. So when you look at it again, you got 15 games for $60, or he paid 16 games. He was able to play 15 games for $60 with company and all that stuff. What other experience can you do for that kind of money? Good experience. Like it was a good experience. I don't think that I could say any of those games were bad. Where I was like, yeah, no. Aside from when we played back to back, which
you could play Monopoly hundreds of times,
but you're not going to get the same experience.
But is that good?
No, it's not good. But I'm saying that, like,
Risk. If anything,
Risk. I could play Risk hundreds of times.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't. You can't play Risk Legacy 100 times. I would say
Risk. Risk Legacy has more replayability than this does.
It actually forms a board you can use.
Yeah.
So there you have.
You can still play this after the fact. There's nothing to discover, but I feel like you can play this. It wouldn't affect it any. Just play with the December rules.
No, not the December.
Not the December, but as far as the infection deck, like you add faded and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You would have to play like there would have to be a
But what your
set
goal
of objectives like a.
No, your objectives are base pandemic.
There could be like a build three supply centers.
It's build 3 supply centers again, which isn't Or build 4 supply centers.
Yeah, it would have to be some sort of shift to where...
Actually, yeah.
And
now,
maybe spend one extra card to do that just because of the ease of being able to get cards out of the discard pile of players. But
now there's
that's-
no searches.
you know what? That's one thing this game never did. We never got to the point where the player deck,
Yeah.
which may be a nitpick, the player deck, we were worried about it running out.
Yeah.
Never.
But
We never got past, like, the 4th or 5th... 4th? I don't
think we
got
ever had a
past the
4th epidemic.
No.
We were into that deck.
I
don't
think we... One of the games we lost was on a 4th epidemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's been a while.
And I think it was one where it was, like, back-to-back.
So compare this to a movie, right? You pay how much money to go to a movie? It's depending on the day of the week. $15. That's an hour of entertainment, right? If it's during the weekday, you're paying like I think it's like $10 or something. An hour
That's going
and a half,
that's going to the movie theater though.
2 hours of entertainment. So then you multiply that by 15 movies, and you're spending anywhere between 100 and 150.
I would say
Not 15 movies. It'd
This-
be 7 movies.
this
sorry.
is more like
Um,
an episode of TV rather than a
Yeah.
movie. But
I'm comparing it because that's what you paid. Like you
Sure,
paid
sure,
to do
sure.
that. So I think you definitely get your money's worth for as far as the whole replayability, because odds are you're not going to go to the movie theater to watch that movie a second time.
No, but like
Uh,
like he said, I would compare it to like the way. So like when a season comes out on TV, and you have to wait for every week for like this would not be if this was a TV show, it wouldn't be like, oh, I gotta see it. Like it would be one of the shows you could DVR and watch later. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like until it got to the end and it was just like, oh man, gotta see what happens next.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just one
I'm
perspective.
just trying to show that non-replayable games like legacy, non-replayable games in the sense of legacy games, I think give you everything as far as money's worth. I think that to downgrade it for it being non-replayable.
Like
after
I
so many
would
plays-
no, but I would say Time Stories. I liked better.
Yeah, that's cool. I like Time Stories better than this.
but
It's a shorter experience.
That's
and
that's
it's different.
a lot
It's
less
different.
replayability.
It's different. Well, yeah. I mean, it's less time that you're gonna play the game.
I mean, your replayability on
You
Time
want-
Stories would be running for speed runs.
but you're not going to learn anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can argue the same thing here. The way this is replayable is to get a higher score. You just have to buy a new copy of the game. That's the downside. So, I'm not trying to impose my will. Legacy games are fun. They are not for everyone.
Yeah.
They are. They're definitely something to play with the right group of people who are willing to commit and to to enjoy an experience rather
Like
than,
I loved. Like I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much playing with other people.
sure.
Like I felt like this group made it because we all kind of were thinking the same things and there wasn't a lot of like no.
Our arguments were over what we thought was best to do at the end of the game, but it was always like we were debating between two things that both could have been the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's 30.
And nothing turned out to be wrong.
And half of the time it was just one of us deciding that it was time to be devil's advocate and
Or me deciding that I was tired and I was ready to go home, and that meant that somebody needed to make a choice and it needed to be done now.
Now!
I said now, Ryan! How now, brown frau? Wait.
I still like Agents of Smirch more.
I like Agents of Smirch. I would say. Well, okay. Agents of Smirch loses points for
It's the same game.
the
you're just
complexity.
It's not even that.
Not the complexity, but like seriously, like every single thing has to go to this huge book, and
There's
doesn't
no other way
really
you
make
could do
a
a game like
huge
that.
difference. And
There's no other way you could do. That's the reason why I like Agents of Smirch is because of that specific reason, which is the stories that come out of it.
yeah, but the story's the same. It's just affects your
No.
die roll.
It affects your die roll, but it's
Like-
a different. It's like the comedy that comes out of that game. As far as the different.
I would rate it higher than this, but like that it didn't need to be that in depth.
Any game like that does same. Well, for the most part. I say that because there's other games that do the same thing, like
You'd be better
Tales
off
of Arabian
just
Nights.
like-
Tales of Arabian Nights does the same thing, but it's different way to figure out what you look up.
Okay, this all's gone off the rails. This is no longer about Pandemic Legacy Season 2.
So yeah, so I mean
See, there's David saying,
8.
I'm tired.
No, it's David saying,
upper 8,
I've lost
lower 9,
control.
upper 8, lower
You
9.
never had control,
For
sir.
you was-
I said good day, sir!
For you it was upper 8, lower 9. For you it was solid 7.
Solid 7, maybe 8. It had its
Components,
8
I
moments.
think, could have been better in some senses, mainly
Yeah.
adhesive of stickers. I think that story was overall very well
Yeah,
put together.
and in my world, Willa's not dead.
Did you rip up her card?
No!
Why?
You can't make me.
Oh, you don't want
She's gonna be resurrected.
She's not dead, you can't make me.
Yeah, so I think it was good.
By the
They're gonna build a statue of Willow outside of the Jade Lab.
By the technical rules of the game, every character has been exposed to the point of death. They should all be ripped up now.
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and do it. We'll play with base. And that'd be interesting to play with just the base.
With the Haven workers.
Haven workers.
Yeah.
It's like, no. So on that note, David is stubborn, and we'll see you around the shipyard.
Deuces!
Thanks, guys.